Hey guys, what's up? It's Cecily, and it's This Week in Rideshare News. Now, I'm happy to say this. It's one of the few times I will say this. The week in rideshare has been pretty light, but I'm hoping that your pockets are fatter than normal because of the holiday. Here's a few stories I would love to share with you guys while I bang out a few orders myself this weekend. So let's get into it so I can get back on the road and you can too. So here's this week's biggest story surrounding London's decision to revoke Uber's operating license. It's huge because London is a huge market. So this is what happened. In September 2018, a court of appeals granted Uber a 15-month provisional license that they extended a few times, just giving the company some time to basically address all of their concerns. Well, they didn't. And right now, the company has pretty much a standstill. They are not allowing drivers to upload new photos, to create new accounts. People who are suspended cannot get back online. Uber will continue to operate within the city while the company tries to appeal the decision. But while they're doing this, they found that over 14,000 trips were made on shared driver accounts. Now, this problem is not limited to London, but London is the first thing to actually even talk about this. And I will say this, I've known that this is happening for a fact. I know a driver who was sharing an account with two other drivers, and I was like, why would anyone share an account? For her reason, it was because she did not have a car, and it was attached to an account already. But there are other drivers that don't have licenses, don't have valid licenses, or just basically not be able to be approved for Uber. And that's a nightmare situation. I've actually been a rider in a situation where I've like had someone pick me up in the right car, but it clearly wasn't the right person. And so I think that this is an area that definitely needs to be talked about. Everybody needs to be talking about it. Every city, every state needs to sit there and bring this conversation up. There are plenty of drivers that are sharing accounts. Affects drivers that are playing by the rules, that are going through background checks, that are making sure they have valid licenses, that are using the cars that they have access to. And so we should see a lot more media jumping on this story. And my hope is that it will make things safer for all folks involved in rideshare, and not just another pain in the ass for good drivers. Because good drivers are the ones that suffer when bad drivers do dumb stuff. Okay, so the Business Insider lists ways that a driver can find out if they have a bad passenger in less than 5 seconds. Let's see if he is correct. If the passenger has a rating lower than 4.6. If they're approaching your car with a small child but don't have a car seat. If they have an alcoholic beverage in their hand and they're trying to get into your car. If they start messaging you or calling you and immediately have an attitude or rude. If they try to fit more than the number of people allowed in your car. Oh, yes. If they don't want to put on their seatbelt. Oh, these guys too. These guys. If they try to change the ride completely or have a ridiculous request. And if they make you wait for them for something that's very unnecessary. Yes, I agree to all this. I would like to even add to this list people who put their feet on the dashboard, who demand to change the radio, or even reach over and change your radio without permission. It usually happens as soon as they get in the car, like the music is going to change the ride or whatever. I don't know what these people are going through, but they immediately have to have some sort of access to your radio. Those people typically, in my opinion. So if you have any tips for any new driver, list that in the description for me. Could you thank you. And this week's what would you do? Not happy about this at all, but I wanted to share with you guys because this could happen to you. At first the ride starts off pretty normal. The rider gets in the car and she asks him his destination. He even replies with manners, yes ma'am.
You going to 1152 Okeechobee Boulevard?
Correct. Yes, ma'am.
Gives her a couple directions. And then he lets her know that he needs to drop something off at home.
I'm just gonna stop at home for a second and drop this off before we get on 95.
Take the next right toward 10th Avenue North, then turn right on.
She informs him that she can't do that and offers to let him off here.
After you cross the train track.
Okay, well, I can't do that. When you do pool, you can only...
No, but I have to drop my bag off, so, I mean, can you please?
I can drop you off here.
She then goes on to say that with pool rides, you cannot go anywhere other than your intended destination.
Do pool, I can only go where it tells me.
In 300 feet, turn right onto 11th Avenue North.
Yeah, but I'm the one paying for the ride.
Well, then...
I mean, are you going to give me my money back?
I don't have your money. You can just email them and tell them that you picked the wrong destination.
For the money that I paid.
The guy kind of complains a little bit. He talks about getting his money back, but then he flips.
Me going to Okeechobee. So, I mean, that would be fair. Because I have
Would
to
you
drop the
please
bag
get
off.
out of my car? Ah!
Fucking bitch.
Leave me alone.
Bitch. Fuck you, man. Poor.
He reaches over her console and then he grabs something. Now this one was really crazy, but I still feel like it could have been avoided. Maybe not entirely, but it could have. Had I been in this predicament, I probably would have taken him to his house and complained to Uber later. I don't know if his house was as close as he stated. She never actually addressed that, but I feel like if I was in that area, if he would have said those coordinates or whatever, then I would have been like, oh, okay. I think that she sensed that he was a troublemaker because she started to call, it looks like, the police. And my thing is saying, get out of my car. And it just kind of escalated the whole thing. It did not deserve to be spat on. But I just feel like it was just a weird turn of events and it all went bad so fast. And to avoid that, I probably would have just went to his house, let him drop it off, been like, hey, if you take longer than normal, then I'm gonna have to leave you. But I probably would have worked with him, and I've worked with people just to avoid getting into a mess, and I feel like, every situation should be judged accordingly. If you have an opportunity to get somebody out your car and you think it'll happen quickly and swiftly without any error, issue, or situation, then do it. In a situation like this, you got somebody who is obviously unstable. Like, why would you spit? Why would you grab somebody's drink? Like, what is your problem? And I think that it's great that it's on a dash cam because it would have been her word against his. And you can't spit on people. I hope she took this thing to the police department and they did something about it. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments, please. If you like this video, please give us a thumbs up. I'm going to keep it short and sweet so you guys can get back to work, and so can I. So best of luck to you out there this weekend. Lots of Black Friday shopping, lots of folks spending money in general. And believe it or not, people that are that cooked and everything are going to get tired of turkey and they're going to start like ordering food. So it should be a decent weekend in terms of deliveries and everything like that. I'm going to hit the road myself, but peace out and have a good one. Bye, guys. Oh, and if you're not subscribed, subscribe. Don't forget that.